I call this meeting to order. Please rise for a flag salute and a moment of silence. The flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Roll call, please.
All right. Commissioner Morose.
Present.
Commissioner Pollock-Rude. Present. Commissioner Serco.
Present.
Commissioner Sotile. And Commissioner Baez. All commissioners present.
Thank you. Welcome to the El Cajon Planning Commission meeting. This meeting is being live streamed on the City of El Cajon website. Appeals of final decisions of the Planning Commission made this evening must be filed in writing with the city clerk before 5 p.m. Friday, August 26, 2022, and must include the payment of a filing fee. We ask, if you wish to speak on either a non-agenda or agenda item tonight, please fill out the request to speak card located by the agenda and turn it into the secretary, who will call you up to speak when the agenda item comes up for public comment. We ask that you give us the spelling of your name, especially your last name. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. Display on the podium, as well as the other monitors in the chambers, will show time counting down. At 30 seconds, the podium clock readout will turn red, signifying you have 30 seconds until the end of your time. Applicants and individuals representing groups of people may have more time if appropriate. All public hearing comments should be addressed to me as the chair of the commission and not to individual commissioners or to staff members. Please turn off all electronic devices if you have not already done so. Okay. Pursuant to City Council Resolution 114-79, a commissioner who has received evidence related to a matter before the planning commissioner other than an unescorted view of the subject property is required to disclose such information at the hearing. At this time, we will take comments from any member of the public on any item of business within the jurisdiction of the commission that is not on the agenda. Under state law, no action can be taken on items brought forward under public comment, except to refer it to staff for administration or place it on a future agenda. If there's anyone who wishes to address the commission under public comment, please come forward now.
Hello, my name is Sherry Ashbaugh. I'm an El Cajon resident. I live at 2201 Chatham Street. And I sent in some comments for one of the projects that will be addressed tonight. But I had another issue that I wanted to ask about. In reviewing that project, I was looking at the landscape design manual, and I noticed some things that could be updated and improved there, particularly when it's talking about the types of plants that we can use for landscaping. So I'd like to offer any assistance I can to city staff to help update that. And if you could point me in the right direction, that would be appreciated.
Great.
Thank you.
No problem. Staff, if she has some comments on that manual.
Yes, staff was contacted by the speaker earlier this afternoon, so we have the speaker's contact information, and we would be happy to reach out to her to provide information about the landscape design manual and take a look at some any suggestions that you might have for improving it.
Great. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. If there's anyone else that would like to come forward on public comment that's not on the agenda, please do so now. Okay, seeing that there's none, we'll move on to the consent calendar. A single motion will cover the items on the consent calendar. Commissioners, any items you'd like to pull? Staff, any items for you to pull?
No items from staff.
Great.
I move to adopt the minutes as recorded.
I'll second that.
Okay. Motion made by Commissioner Serco, seconded by Commissioner Pollock-Rude. Please vote.
Motion carries by unanimous vote.
Okay, and Commissioner Velez, you did review the minutes, I take it? Okay, thank you. All right. The next item is public hearing. Agenda item number 2 is Lexus of El Cajon. It's a Lexus dealership addition and remodel. It is CEQA exempt, and staff recommendation is approve. Staff?
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Planning Commissioners. The project before you is the Lexus El Cajon addition and remodel submitted by Eric Markison of Ground Floor Design for Lexus of El Cajon. The project proposes to demolish their existing showroom and office space. It proposes a new 6,339 square foot showroom with offices. It also proposes an addition for a parts storage area and a covered entrance for the service area. Other improvements include relocated driveway, rehabilitated landscaping, and then a new configuration for display parking, customer parking, and basically the kind of the entry feature to the project site. Kind of something a little bit different about this request is there's also a request to expand a legal nonconforming setback along Marshall Avenue, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. Just to cover the background, the project site is in the regional commercial general plan designation. It has a consistent zone of regional commercial. The legacy conditional use permit number was number 470, which originally authorized the 2 dealerships that are there in 1972. It's also within the air land use compatibility plan area, which means that there's a condition of approval in there for air travel safety. They basically have to provide a notice from the FAA or self-certify. So the project site is about 4.23 acres or 184,000 square feet. Again, the original CUP number 470 covers both parcels you see in the center of the page here for the whole block between R&L Avenue, Peachtree Street, Marshall, and I believe that's Jackman Street. Adjacent uses to the south, you have Toyota of El Cajon. To the east, there's Subaru of El Cajon. To the north is a commercial shopping center. And then to the west, there's some heavy commercial, kind of light industrial uses. So I've highlighted a few sections of the proposed site plan here to kind of help you see it a little bit better. The new showroom is shown in purple. The demolished offices and showroom are in orange. That canopy structure, kind of the entry feature to the service area, is in green. And then the addition for parts storage is in the kind of blue aquamarine color. Like I mentioned earlier, the setback along Marshall Avenue for the existing service structure and offices is 5 feet. Typically speaking, the requirement in the CR zone is 10 feet. The nonconforming setback is due to a widening of Marshall Avenue in the past. The proposal includes about 86 additional feet at a 5-foot setback for that parts addition. And there would not be any kind of visibility concerns or, concerns of pedestrian or vehicle safety because there's no drive entries or exits along that stretch of Marshall Avenue. In terms of the project design, they're updating kind of substantially the finish materials. So they're using a composite kind of metal finish for most of the showroom. They're also using different types of CMU block for the parts addition for storage. They're updating the color scheme from what it currently is, which is kind of earth tones, tans, to kind of cooler gray colors. The peak building height for that showroom is 27 feet 7 inches, but the majority of the structure is about 25 feet 5 inches in height. As I mentioned, they're also proposing to rehabilitate basically all of the exterior yard setback areas with landscaping. Specifically to the north, some of those landscape areas are a little bit dilapidated currently, so this would be a welcomed update. And then again, just to reiterate, there's that proposed extension of the nonconforming setback would be 5 feet off of Marshall Avenue for about 86 feet, additional feet. And then here are the proposed colored elevations. Again, updating the color scheme. You'll notice also the CMU wall has some variety in CMU brick types so that it kind of mimics the structure it's being attached to, adjacent to. As was just mentioned, we did receive one public comment regarding the plant selection and specifically a desire to promote the use of native plants. I'll note that zoning code requires that invasive species not be utilized. However, there's not a requirement necessarily for native plants. But we have run this by the applicant team already, and they were willing to work with staff for the formal landscape plan submittal, which would be required prior to building permit issuance for the project. The project is exempt from CEQA pursuant to Section 15332 for infill development projects, and staff recommendation is approval of the conditional use permit, subject to conditions, since it's consistent with the goals in the general plan for the regional commercial zone, and it helps update and modernize an existing dealership to stay relevant as a destination in our kind of auto shopping district area there. And with that, we are available for any questions you have.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Any questions for staff? It's definitely a nice looking building. It'll really start to tie in all those car dealerships that are in that area. So I'm looking forward to that for sure.
I've noticed that there's a definite trend towards the cool colors now instead of the earth tones.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, if there's no other questions.
I have a small question. When I was looking at the original site plan provided in our agendas, I was not clear on whether the Subaru is still on the east side of that block and how the parking lot divides between the Lexus and the Subaru dealerships.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I'll bring that up in a map really quickly.
Yeah.
Turn on the boundary layers here. So this isn't perfectly accurate, but hopefully you can see here. I don't know how to fix that. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry about that. All right. So, as I was trying to say, this isn't a perfect representation of exactly where the property line sets, but there are two separate parcels there, and they basically run up the center of that existing large driveway entry for the service area for Subaru, and then the parking area for the Lexus. So basically, they're proposing to demolish this, add a showroom here. You can see where my mouse is located. The property line is actually kind of just right down the center of that drive aisle.
Okay, so there's no parking traffic going on between the two dealerships.
No. So basically what's being proposed is to relocate, hopefully you can see my mouse slightly at the bottom left corner of the site. This driveway entry would be shifted just slightly to be basically a straight shot into the new service canopy area, which is here. And that's essentially what's proposed. There wouldn't be, you can still enter the site from the larger driveway from either side, basically.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for staff? All right, well, at this time, let's open public hearing. Do we have any speaker cards?
I do not.
Okay. If there's anyone that would like to come forward with public hearing, feel free to come down now. Okay. Seeing there's none, let's go ahead and close public hearing. Do you have a motion to close public hearing?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All right. Motion made by Commissioner Velez, seconded by Commissioner Circo. Please vote.
Motion carries by unanimous vote.
All right. Well, looks pretty straightforward. Definitely going to blend in nicely with the Toyota dealership across the street. And then Subaru will have to get their act together.
Yes.
They'll be the only one left with the warm colors.
Well, it's nice because that is kind of a big, kind of a corridor entering into El Cajon from kind of the Fletcher Parkway area. And so to have that be more modernized and nice, it just, you know, it updates El Cajon and the idea of updating the landscaping. I mean, I like the idea of trying to use native plants, even though other plants, like, you know, like might be drought tolerant. You wonder about how much some of the other pests and other diseases we've had come to our native plants from other plants that weren't supposed to be here. So, you know, I mean, I think that's kind of an easy conversation anyway. Sounds like the applicant's open to that. And I think everything will look really nice when that's all done.
Yeah, and a lot of our native species are actually drought tolerant because of our location.
The desert, yeah.
Yeah. So,
And I like the earthy to the cool.
yeah.
Earthy tones to the cool tones.
Yeah. That is nice.
I also enjoyed in the landscaping where it talked about all the palms that they're keeping intact, especially along Marshall. They're going to keep in place and protect while they're building. It's always nice when somebody considers the plants that are already there.
Well, great. Well, at this time, anyone care to make a motion?
I will make a motion to adopt the next resolutions in order approving CEQA exemption and CUP 2022-0001, subject to conditions.
I'll second that. Motion made by Commissioner Serco, seconded by Commissioner Moroz. Please vote.
And motion carries by unanimous vote.
Great. All right. Well, this time, let's see here. Any other items for consideration or staff communication?
Yes, I did want to report to the commission that appeal was filed with the city clerk's office for the tentative parcel map at Oakdale and Mint. So staff is currently working with the city clerk's office on scheduling that for an upcoming city council meeting. Since the appeal was filed, new public hearing notices will be sent out, but just wanted the commission to be aware of the appeal, and we will report back after decisions made by council.
Great. Thank you for that.
Out of curiosity, was it appealed by the applicant?
No, it was appealed by a member of the public.
Okay. Thank you.
Great. All right. Commissioners, anything? Reports, comments, concerns?
None? No?
All right. Well, then at this time, I guess I will make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All right. Motion made by Commissioner Moreau, seconded by Commissioner Pollack. Please vote. And meeting is adjourned.
17.